Alright, grubs and scrubs, welcome back to the Loot Diary. As before, I always like to announce my presence by sniffing loudly. I like to cleanly signpost my crippling addiction to cocaine and let people know exactly what they have to expect from the ensuing interaction. So, not much to report, really, on the loot front. What do we got in the old stasharoo? We got these two Razor's Edge. That was kind of the last, real drop, like two in a row. It's still cool though, man. Like if I want to do a frenzy bob, like bada bing, bada boom, there you go. Oh, this ruby jewel was very nice, and the gold rune was pretty freaking sweet. Yeah. So I felt like, you know what I haven't done in a while, and you know, this guy, because I just want drops. Like I've done ancient tunnels, I've done the terror zones, I've done this, I've done that, and oh, why does my teleport feel so slow? So does my static. Hold on, what was that player's count? Exemplaire 3. Okay, 3 is perfect. But yeah, what's wrong with my casting? This is because of that filth, isn't it? Because I'm missing something. I think that are the only fast cast I have, and I think you don't hit a breakpoint with just those two. I'm perfectly content having 40% less MF if it means I cast faster, because I get to Mephisto faster, I kill him faster. And 40% MF is a trivial amount. The difference between like 400 and 440, unnoticeable. Like it's barely even worth switching to like an Alibaba on swap, for that extra, even though it's almost like an extra 100%. It's just like you could do the run 1,000 times with one set and 1,000 times with the other, and you might honestly see no difference. Hell, you could even see better items in, the one with less MF, because it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Also, I didn't even realize I had full juvies, and I've basically just been like spam feeding them to my mercenary. And sometimes Blizzard just like eats him alive, and other times it seems to do almost no damage. But I think it's also the Merc, because usually when I do this, see if we can crank it up to 5. But yeah, normally when I do this, I'll have a like, let's say historically, when I used to do this, I'd have the Kelpie Snare, whereas now he has the Obedience with like a crud ton of Crushing Blow, not to mention like 5 times the damage of the Kelpie Snare. But it's more a thing of like, it's not that I think I still think the Kelpie Snare is better against Mephisto specifically, because if your mercenary dies, you basically still just get to kill Mephisto for free. Man, I swear, I had the clearest memory of resetting that instance, and I even thought, did I reset that instance? No, I definitely did. And obviously I didn't. But this is the problem when you're a little bit out of practice. See, you have to run Mephisto every day. Well, look, Mephisto cannot be run fresh every day. Don't even. I'm trying to make a joke about some stupid meme, and I got nothing. If you know the meme, I don't know. I hope you get it. If you don't, it's the kind of thing that would just take way too long to explain. It's like some weird little thing from a TV show that like I find funny for some weird reason. Don't kill my mercenary. Wow, that was our first PS5 kill. Stinky.
What do you need?
Like, I don't really even notice a difference between a Players 5 and a Players 3 drop. I do think I can kind of notice a difference between, like, so when you notice it is when you do, like, the cow level or the pit or something like that, where, probably not even the pit so much, because that, you know, it's not that dense, but if you do some extremely dense area, you'll definitely notice it there. But it's also worth bearing in mind that, as far as I understand it, normal enemies have like a pretty good no drop chance. Like they have just a really good chance to not drop anything. And then it's like it's RNG whether they drop anything at all. And then it's like, oh well, there's even then a tiny chance that they can maybe drop two things or something. I don't really know like the casting rhythm for Blizzard, so I'm like really learning this because I kill Mephisto with Frozen Orb, and I would always say that like I think Blizzard is just slower, but it's probably just, almost certainly it is just the fact that I just have like I'm not like recasting Blizzard like and then I'm not like consistently sending the, because I'm trying to recast Blizzard before you can recast it, and then while I'm doing that, I'm not consistently casting the glacial spikes. And I mean, I suppose I should switch it to these. Like, these seem to do a lot more damage, but I'm pretty sure they fire a lot slower. But there's one way to find out. But yeah, I definitely prefer killing Mephisto with Frozen Orb, but there's just no question. I know this can be fast, because sometimes I just fluke the timings, and, he just kind of crumbles. The main thing is, like, look, I'm old, okay? So, like, paying attention to, like, my mercenary's health, my mana, my health. I ain't that guy. That's some, like, high APM Twitch gaming. Anyone who isn't asleep should be able to do that. But maybe I am asleep. Leave me alone. That's cool. A windhammer. Everyone likes a windhammer. Good old windhammer. Two-handed weapons are absolutely ghastly in this game, aside from some rune words maybe. But, like when I say two-handed weapons are terrible, I mean like, let's say there's a rune word. Actually, there are indeed rune words. So like, let's say that you got the rune word like honor, which can be made in a two-handed sword, and now that exact same weapon can either be a two-hander or a one-hander. The one-handed version with a shield is almost universally better. Like, you just do not get enough damage. Now, actually, hold on. This is a bow that could be really fun to upgrade. The problem is, it's all about fire skills, and fire just sucks. Like, I really wish it didn't, but it just sucks. Because as soon as you get to hell, everything is, like, if it's not immune, it's, like, absurdly resistant. And so much stuff is immune.
What do you need?
Oh, I just had some, like, really cold Pepsi, and it was so good. It could have been Coke. I'm not I'm not jumping to either side of that line in the sand. They're both good. I can barely tell the difference. That's not true. I do have a preference, but I'm not even going to mention it because I just don't care. I will drink both. Like, I'll even drink some like off-brand criminal stuff. But actually, have you ever tried the Mexican cola? That's pretty decent. All right, what do we got here? Battle stuff. You don't see that every day. But it's nothing fancy. It's the salamander, I think. Yeah. Which, it's sad. Like, this stuff is not easy to find. And it's kind of just pooped on by Leaf. Which you can, like, make by the time you get to, like, the countess. Like, Leaf just gives +3 to 5 skills. Mind you, like, if I have this in the stash, I would probably just this over to a sorceress. Because, like, actually doing the shopping to get a +2/+3 fireball staff with 2 open sockets, I don't care, man. Like, you don't need it. And this is that freaking K. Hagen's. Like, the game is giving me this again because I talk shit about it. I'm gonna talk more shit about it. It doesn't deserve to exist. It's just a bad item compared to... Okay, when I say that, I mean, alright. Let's imagine a world where that item, that armor was just, like, really common. Just, you know, like, one in every chest, one under every rock. I mean, the obvious exaggeration, but, like, let's just say it was super common. And, you know, Viper Magi can be kind of difficult to get drop. As can the Ghost Armor. Although, weirdly, I've had, like, 5 Viper Magis and only 1 Spirit Shroud. But anyway. You know, you could struggle to find a Viper Magi, and, like, let's imagine you had a bunch of, like, those K. Hagen's Wisdom instead. Or you have 1. Yeah, you might use that. It's better than Stealth. As a faster cast rate armor, this is Hawkmail. I am so molding about not being able to get Crowcore. And this is a pretty decent mercenary armor. Like, honestly, you could, even if you had, like, a really good setup like this, like where the armor is kind of just, like, a free slot now because everything else is sorted.
I'll put that to good use.
The reason why I go with this one, by the way, is because it has a good amount of damage reduced, which is not as good as percentage, I know, and cannot be frozen. And to me, that's probably a little bit more valuable than just, you know, chucking on a Duriel Shell, like, which would literally just be for, like, the life and cannot be frozen, and obviously the armor value as well. But this has crazy armor value. Not that that really matters, but this isn't a terrible item, to be honest. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, poison length reduced by 50% doesn't seem to really do anything. Attacker takes damage of 20. Low health enemies can be put in, like, a kind of hit stun animation by taking that, but in hell, I don't think that's gonna, like, hit stun even a fallen. But, you know, you got 30% faster hit recovery, so if something hits you, even if it only stuns them a tiny bit, you might recover faster and kind of get the edge on that. Hit recovery is definitely not bad. If you have everything else sorted, then I would definitely say get hit recovery. Because, like, you know, how often does it happen where, like, I don't know, 2 souls womp you, and, you know, you are, like, you know more lightning bolts are coming, and the first thing you want to do is, like, you know, dodge, but you're in hit recovery frames after the first 2 because they, like, crit you or something, and now, like, just 5 more bolts just come and you're done. Like, hit recovery could save you there, but it also might not. And that's the thing with hit recovery, where it's like, there is definitely going to be, like, for however much, because basically the math of hit recovery is extremely complicated, and enemy damage is not static, so you can't build for hit recovery. Like, you can't say, I'm just gonna, like, put on a hustle so I can, like, move like freaking lightning and then get a bunch of, like, hit recovery items. So it's like, yeah, I might take some big hits and lose a lot of health, but, you know, even if I do get clipped, like, I'm kind of operating on, like, the glass cannon principle. And now it's like, oh, well, now even if something, like, clips me and nicks me, I can still, like, keep my movement up and not go into hit stun. So there's no guarantee of that. In fact, if you're building for hit recovery and thus taking more damage because you have lower resistances or whatever, you could actually find that, like, your hit recovery is worse in hell. Because it's like, if a fire attack does twice as much damage as it would have otherwise. Is this Lead Crow? Then the difference between that and a bit of hit recovery might not even... Oh no, Ica String, alright. Hey, it's got piercing attack. Any bow with piercing attack is, like, potentially worth having. Like, even just 50% with your native pierce skill as a Zon, that pretty much gets you up to, like, 80, 90% pierce, maybe 80 probably. Probably more like 70. But 70% pierce is just looking at 50% pierce is a huge damage multiplier. Hey, alright. I managed to kill him without my mercenary dying. Man, he's been dropping a load of bollocks tonight, hasn't he?
Greetings.
Lord of blood and nonsense. No, it is a complete schmozzle. But it's fine, we persist. Man, it's I have so many, like, little, like, dopamine memories of, like, doing the pits and even the ancient tunnels recently, because I've been doing them pretty much exclusively. But man, I still want a Witchwild String. An Ethereal Head Striker would be nice. Like, I maybe that's, like, the best merc weapon in the game, in all seriousness. Like, for a barbarian mercenary, I mean. Like, because think about this, right? I guess... Well, no, because most of the other elite unique swords are indestructible. And even, like, the better... Like, so, what's Butcher's Pupil... What's Head Striker's competition for, like, the best one-handed melee weapon in the exceptional range? It's Butcher's Pupil, I'd say, yeah? Butcher's Pupil is indestructible, so it can't spawn Ethereal right off the bat. Doombringer is indestructible and can't spawn Ethereal. Grandfather is indestructible and can't spawn Ethereal. They're both two-handers anyway. Jin Slayer, I don't know if it's indestructible. But, honestly, while it's a good weapon, and if you put, like, godly runes in it, it could become, like, really busted. I would kind of take the Head Striker over it. Like, assuming you upgraded the Head Striker to the elite base. This is such a great little stick to find for your merc. Like, it just takes care of so much stuff you want on the mercenary, right? Because what, you want life leech on your merc? There you go, there's your life leech. You want him to attack fast? There's your IAS. You want him to do a good chunk of damage? There's a good chunk of damage. Like, oh, you want him to have some useful affix for boss fights? There's useful affix for boss fights. And, you know, cherry on top, he gets a little bit of MF too. Like, you wouldn't want him to still be using that in hell, but like early hell, way easy. Like through nightmare, that would just chunk stuff. And this, I feel like this item is kind of like a trap. Because in the kind of normal, like that's just a normal unique, right? So let's assume that you're going to be using that in like normal, even early nightmare difficulty. A good flat number damage reduction is probably better. Like, let me put it this way. By the time 10% damage reduction on its own is like kind of meaningful, like by the time that's actually reducing like a meaningful number, well, let's hope you have a lot of life. Because if you're taking so much damage that like the mitigation of 10% of it, you know, really matters to you, it's, you know, it's too much damage. Like, you know, you better hope there's some other mitigating thing. And look, for like a hardcore player, I can probably understand that. But then even then, it's like, that's your armor, and that is pretty much all that armor does. And your armor is like a big slot that realistically, like, it needs to do a hell of a lot more. Like, I say don't wear shaft stop. Like, I think armor needs to do more than that. Even though 30% damage reduction, physical damage reduction, is really significant. And I do think that, like, you know, there's a world where, like, a barbarian or a paladin who has a shield with really good resistances and, you know, just really fucking, like, on point, like, jewelry and boots and all that stuff, just, like, really, like, getting all that shit, like, cleaned up and sorted, then, yeah, there's a world where, like, they might want a sharp stop. But even then, I'm like, if you're a barbarian, like, wouldn't you rather have a storm shield? Because Storm Shield is like a huge boon to some very important resistances. You know, Storm Shield has a lot more going for it than just the 30% damage reduction. It's got a big chunk of stats. It's got great like block stats. It's got some like really, really good resistances. It's like 60% lightning resist or something, and then like 30% fire. Like it's a real, like, for just a shield that's like, this shield exists to keep you alive, it's beastly. So, like, I don't know, I can't imagine ever wanting to wear a shaft stop unless I was a paladin. Even then, depending on how you're building, like, genuinely, like, there's a word where I just throw a storm shield on the paladin too, instead of like a Herald of Zakarum or whatever. You know, it's still an elite base, so it's still good for smiting. It's still got a chunk of resists. It's got that physical, like, because like as good as Herald of Zakarum is, it's an amazing item. No 30% damage reduction on it. And it's like, yeah, it's got a lot of plus skills and stuff like that, but, like, look, that mostly just amounts to attack rating. Like, off-weapon ED needs to be, like, really, really significant before it's particularly meaningful. you know, like if you're kind of looking at an Ariat's face or something and thinking,
Hail
oh
to you,
wow,
champion.
you know, if I add up all these plus skill points, like, oh, I'm getting like an extra 7% ED from these points in my weapon mastery, and then I'm getting like an extra, you know, 28% ED from these points in my combat skill, and now it's like, wow, that's like 40, that's like a ruby jewel of fervor, and it's just like what you will actually see on your stat screen for that. It ain't that huge. But the attack rating could be quite meaningful. Particularly depending on your character, because characters often have like multiple skills like buffing attack rating. Do I even want to look at this? Yeesh, we're not even getting any interesting rares. We're getting really, really bad drops from Mephisto. Yeah, this isn't like honestly for a barbarian MF hat, like yeah, why not? It's better than a Tarnhelm, I guess. Kind of. You don't have to waste a socket quest on it.
What do you need?
And it's got something for you. You know, it has +2 to War Cries, which is a bit of extra health from battle orders. It's not really that meaningful. But I guess as a singer, yeah, why not? You know? I don't know. I feel like I'm like really trash talking the hat, but I actually kind of like think the hat is okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I feel like I'm just like just something in the way I'm trying to phrase. It just like seems like I'm really damning it with faint praise. Like obviously a Shaco is better, even for a melee character, because of the damage reduced, the big chunk of life. Chaos Sanctuary, huh? I'm kinda tempted to do one run with my Zon just because it's so freaking laid back. And Mephisto's just not. He's not behaving himself. So, you know, if he wants to be a huge jerk, we'll just have to go somewhere else. It's fine. I hate that you have to go through the River of Flame, because the River of Flame is a really annoying area. And is super punishing for anyone who doesn't have teleport. Although, look, I don't like using teleport styles when you're like clearing the game. Though I totally understand why people will do it. Like if, you know, I don't know, let's say you're a hardcore player and you just can't, like, you know, you're doing solo self-found and you've been genuinely, like, you know, farming your ass off for like a week. You've been doing like pit runs, Mephisto, whatever, but you just can't get the gear to like safely push your character through, I don't know, the Arcane Sanctuary or the Maggot Lair or something like that. Then, yeah, hell yeah, go buy a teleport staff and just skip that shit. But for me, for like a non-hardcore player who isn't doing like solo self-found stuff, it's just like, if I'm gonna just like teleport through lots of stuff, it kind of gives me that like, oh, well, why even play the game then feeling. And I don't know, that might sound like a bit nonsensical, because I do think teleporting through areas is like a super valid part of the Sorceress's gameplay loop. And the mana leech on this is like, even at that really high level, there's something super satisfying about that just huge fan of multi-shot. But the damage on it is not as good as Strafe. Oh, this is still players 5. I really don't want this to be players 5. I don't like. It's doable, obviously, but it's just going to be super slow and grindy. And things are already, you know, a smidge on the lethargic side with the old cripples on. That's kind of the point. Just freaking slow everything down to my old man pace. Mercenary Valk, why have you forsaken me? Oh god, this is horrible. And 2 groups of, like, monsters that breed other monsters. Thankfully, those little guys can kind of just be cleaned up quite nicely with multi-shot. These things are so tanky. Particularly when my mercenary refuses to... You know what, we'll just... Yeah, I don't know why I'm so hesitant to use town portals to like control the mercenary, and I think it's just because like I'm so used to playing sorceress. You know, and it's not even like, look, I wax lyrical about the sorceress. The sorceress is not my favorite class, but you know, if you play this game, if you want to farm, blah 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 blah, you know, you want a quick progression, etc., etc., you want a great MFA, you know, you're gonna play sorceress a lot. God, these things are stupidly tanky. Like, I still genuinely feel like kind of the B team is responsible for a lot of the the development of this game, because like Possessed and things like that were part of LOD, and it's like, look, cool, I like champion packs. I think they're way more challenging than uniques. The problem is like, whose idea was it to have, you know, a specific enemy spawn in a champion pack that is literally just a damage sponge? And like, why weren't they just told no? Like, what, you know, why didn't someone who like understood what like fun is and what good game design looks like just say no to that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, players don't like, you know, just hacking at like a kind of immobile, non-threatening sponge, like they're chopping a tree down or something. Like it's just, you know, freaking athletic exercise. But the other ones are fine. The, you know, the berserkers and the normal champs and stuff like that, and they're all super tanky. Go away, go away. Pew 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 pew. I'm kind of just standing here and eating the fireballs, but like, they're not doing much damage, and I do have full jubies. Like, if one of them does a big hit, and I'm like, ooh, actually I need to take them seriously, I'll just eat a jubie and then move, but... Oh, it's the... Dark Mail? Yeah, okay, so this is a decent little piece of kit. I mean, it's basically just all res 10 armor.
I can't carry anymore.
But it also buffs max resistances, which could be pretty cool on a mercenary, because, like, at high level, mercenaries can just kind of very freely get those resistances. That's why the Guardian Angel is quite valued. I don't know why I'm coming to this seal. I usually do the Vizier first. I don't know, for some reason today. Just keep that curse on them. Man, the Valve just thugged that out. Valks are so freaking tanky. I think the only thing in the game that's tankier is like... I don't know, I kind of want to say maybe like a Blood Golem or something. I know they can get like a stupid amount of health, but that's not necessarily the same thing as being
I am
tanky.
overburdened.
Like, I haven't played a Necro in so long that like, you know, knowing what their golems can sort of face tank. You know, I just don't have like a good feel of it. But one thing I do know is the assassin, their shadow, the shadow master. That thing is crazy tanky and super strong as well. Yeah. Cool. All right. Lumbering. Why not? I will run in, lad. Yeah, these old ears still know what that sound means. Yeah. Pew 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 pew. Oh, come on, go away. Whee. Man, we've really gotten like nothing drop-wise so far. Hey, no Zerg rushing, please. Damn, they just tanked them. Thugging it out. And then he has to go stand in the corner. And be mocked for hitting himself repeatedly. Yeah, see, look, see how the mana just starts like going up super fast as soon as you get a good angle? Because you're genuinely like tripling, quadrupling your damage output. And also, the more things you hit, you're also, like, if you're doubling your damage output, because you're hitting twice as many things, you're also doubling the proc chance of the curse. And then if you're tripling it, you're tripling it. And then the curse also doubles your damage output on everything the curse hits. So, you know, super good. Go away. Go away. Go away. That's enough. Yes. Nobody likes you. You are bad. Bad, bad. Oblivion Knights. Bad Doom Knights. You get that red shit away from me. I'm not even sure what it does. Just don't want this shit touching me. Get it away. Hey.
I am overburdened.
So it must be a Geedy Weeds. Oh no, what? Alright. It's like a third Flame Rift. But I guess, why not? I mean, there's definitely at least 3 builds in this game that do fire damage, so... I guess it's rifting time. Kind of getting a little bit tired of finding rifts in the terror zones that... Hold on. Yeah. Right. Finding rifts in the terror zones that aren't cold. Like, I legitimately have, like... So I have the physical one, which I think is the least useful, because... Oh my gosh. That just, like, grazed me ever so gently. And it absolutely... But yeah, look what I mean when I was saying that, like, Diablo goes down pretty quick, even in the terror zone. Whereas, like, Bale is just this fat old damage sponge. I want to get close enough to be in the fanaticism aura, even though it's a teensy bit more dangerous, but it's like, what's he gonna do? Turn around and kill me? I dare him to turn around and kill me. He can't. Like, he can start turning around to kill me, and then I'll just calmly, you know, move. Bonk. Wow, that's the Terror Zone final boss of the game's drop. I mean, the Cuirass is, you know, Hamasu's. I think that's a fairly high level item, although I'm pretty sure Mephisto can drop it. But that was fine. I saw some gold on the way to him. I am content. And the EXP, obviously, because at this point, the best way to buff my DPS is to improve my attack rating. And since I'm not looking at any like major gear upgrades on this Zon, like if I were going to do another Zon that was more, you know, Eagle Horny or something, I'd make a new one to have the fun of like playing them through. Because as far as I'm concerned, like this is this character sort of complete. Like, you know, better jewelry, better like the smidge here, better charms, this, that, the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sure, but the primary gear slots are not going to change. Unless there's an Enigma in it for me. But then it's like, I feel like an Enigma will be slightly wasted on this character. Oh yeah, why don't I use my abilities, you know? Like actually play the game. Get out of here, go away, you shitty beetles. Yeah, give him the old shitty beetle, that's what they used to say. Employees at the pro shop. So there's a driving range by the pro shop, and you know, like kids would come to the driving range and they'd like pick up a bunch of like, you know, missing balls or spare balls or something that they'd gone over the fence or whatever, and they'd bring you like a bucket of them. They'd be like, hey look, we collected all these balls. And, you know, you had to like give them something, right? And if you didn't like them, you'd give them the old dirty beetle. Not that I was the one who decided these things, by the way. Because I would not. I'm a relatively ethical person. I would not give someone a dirty beetle like that. Like maybe if I was at war or something. People do crazy things when they're at war. I've heard. Wait, how do I get out of here? Like, I genuinely cannot see the way to, like, fucking exit. Okay, I see. I have to go backwards and then do another loop. Yeah, this is the problem with farming this area. I gotta remember, I can kind of just like tag things once to slow them and then just like run past. But yeah, then stuff like this happens and you're in all kinds of trouble. I pressed 3. Like, I'm so tired of the number of times I'm pressing 3 and nothing happens. I think this honestly might just be my keyboard. Maybe I just need to replace it. How do I just stand here with like negative fire resistance while these guys are infernoing me? And just be like laughing it off. Like, because this is just another animation that slow utterly breaks. Like, you cannot, like, you could build a traditional boson where you actually try to like get your resistances sorted and have a really strong bow and blah 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 blah, and like maybe you have a teensy bit of slow, but it's not like the cornerstone of your build, right? I swear you'll still be squishier than this. Because like you can have like 40-50 fire resistance, those guys can just melt you. Like, there's ain't no way you're just standing next to an elite while amp damaged and just kind of smiling at him as you spray him down at like point blank range while wearing MF gear. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Ooh, this is a really good little enfilade here. Don't shoot bone spirits at me, you freaking jerk. I just wish I had like a sound clip. Not even like, I want it like installed in my body somehow, where I can just like punch the inside of my fist and freaking Al Pacino from Scarface just says you're all a bunch of fucking assholes. Like, it's the perfect response to so many things. Look at these tanky fucks. But it's a really good position. And they can drop good stuff. And they're worth a chunk of EXP. Whee. Yeah, I can like literally see the bar going up with like every kill. It's crazy how good the EXP is. When you're killing elites in the terror zones. Like I don't know how people got to level 99 in single player in like, you know, the OG days. When you couldn't just crank your player count up.
I am overburdened.
Aw, man, I kind of got a little bit excited about that. But then again, There are some relatively cheap rune words that do have indestructible, like ones that only kind of use sort of mid-lowy runes and have like, you know, pretty good affixes. But I don't like small crescents. So if I were going to waste a bunch of runes in a base, I really want it to be a base I like. Especially, like, if it's for a mercenary, I don't care. But if it's for my character, it's not just a question of, like, what is optimum. Like, it has to be something that even to the point of, like, I think it looks good, you know? Because, like, I don't know. If I can get, like, a little bit of power, but at the cost of, like, looking like a scrubber, like some freaking shitlord, I don't know about that. But of course, it's weird the things you can end up liking the look of. Like, I like the look of a Shaco, because we all know it's a Shaco, you know? Like, it's a goofy green hat that doesn't, like, look particularly, like, cool or, you know, anything. But, because we know in our hearts that the goofy green hat is the Shaco, and it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, Shaco is always a totally respectable piece of kit. And is kind of cool, too. Pew, 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 pew. Keep that glowy crap away from me. Alright, let's get a bit of angle. Oh, nice. It was a second lumber room we got down here, isn't it? You can't carry anymore. .40. What did I throw? What did I throw away? Arrows. Throw it away again. I'm a little goofball. That's what I tell myself. Mercenary! Please do something! Go! Run forward, soak up damage! You freaking jerks. Ooh. Like, the kind of shit that people who play these games will do, you know, like right in the middle of the fight, like, ooh, shiny. Gotta go pick the shiny up. Gotta identify the shiny. Could die while doing it, but no, shiny more important. Why am I standing this close? Oh yeah, because you break their animation, they can't do anything. This is with 50% slow, by the way. It's just enough, right? It's just enough to, like, swag walk into, like, some of the most dangerous places in the game with basically zero fucking, with just absolutely balked resistances. And just play like a drunk doofus, like, wandering in the middle of freaking mobs, getting cornered. And yet, yeah, it's a bit slow, but I think I've said it in a previous stream that it's like, once you have everything slowed, with a rare few exceptions of some, like, absolutely, like, unhinged crazy boss packs, once you have everything slowed, it's just like food on your plate. And at that point, all it can do is, like, inconvenience. Like, tough, chewy food is an inconvenience, right? You really gotta, like, use those jaw muscles, right? But it's not dangerous. Like, you're not scared that the food is going to, like, attack you or something while you're chewing it. Or it's going to fight back and start chewing on you. It's freaking food. That's how it is. It's just like you're just chewing them up. You know, it may take a while,
To you, champion.
but you know they will just be all like gnawed up and swallowed and disposed of in time. And it may take a while, but you have time. Everything is safe. Everything is chill. And you get lucky with those amp damage procs. Doesn't even take a long time. Go away. 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 Don't jump scare me like that. Whee.
I can't carry
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, you can. Absolutely devilish. uh, wait, what? Alright. I wonder, the heck are you doing, Diablo? I love just throwing the freaking falcon at the guy. Get over that. Yeet! Go forth, Valk. Shield me with your body. Yeah, I don't want to be standing behind them. That's not a good place. I mean, come on, this is like a plays 3. Like, Diablo is a hard fight. Like, if you're tanky enough that you can just stand there, so you dodge the lightning. Then it's not particularly hard. But if you're not, damn, he's kind of chonking these guys, and I'm running out of energy. So
What do you need?
let's just grab some.
Not in town.
Get that shit away from me. Yeah, just one one guided arrow, can't miss. And now you're slow. Where he just killed my boy. What have that done to my boy? You're a dick, Diablo. Like, I know, you know, you think he's like the villain or something, right? I could have resummoned my Valk, but look, I want the AR. I want the... You absolute twat. Yeah. That's what I think of your freaking Bone Prison. I wish the Bone Prison didn't have 8 trillion health in hell. Yeah, I don't know what you're about to do, but I ain't standing in front of you. The fire and stuff will, like, come out of his side or out of his butt or something. Like, if you are kiting around him when he's super slowed. That's probably worth holding on to because I don't come down here often. I probably have time to go again. The runs aren't the greatest. I don't have the biggest chunk of MF, but, you know, when you're getting good experience doing it, it's like,
Hail to
how can you,
champion.
you know, you can't just let the lack of drops, like, spoil it for you. Because it's like, hey, you know, I'm grinding it out. Bonk, bonk. The River of Flame is going to be tidy and almost enemy free. I'm going to be able to walk into a freaking face full of Oblivion Knight spells. should have known better. And these guys are really annoying to deal with here, because it's like, I want to be like there, but I can't get that flank position on this map without going like all the way around here, and then that potentially like opens my sight line to other things and messes up the strafe and blah 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 blah, but yeah, whatever. It's fine. We're going through. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Just physically move out of the way. That's... Alright, who has the frickin' might aura? What hideousness is over there? They killed my boy! Yeah, do you mind? Like, knockback is a mechanic that I'm interacting with in this moment. Alright, let's get the merc.
Good day.
Good day! Welcome to my shop.
What do you need?
Welcome to my shop. This mod to change it so that every freaking NPC says that. Yeet. Alright, did we get the might aura? I don't see it. No, we did not get the might aura. How far away is the freaking might aura? Like, that's, it's too much. Like, you can't have, like, one enemy who buffs, you know. Like, for one, he's, like, freaking Xerxes, like, sitting on a throne behind a million bodies, just physically blocking the space, you know. But it's like, and then he gets to buff all of those people just by fucking existing. Like, it just removes any form of interaction with it, because the whole point of an aura is the like, well, here's this guy you can kill to take that buff away, but the risk of trying to do that is that you may potentially like overextend and like push too deep into the minion pack or whatever. But it's like, there's like, you know, there's no guy to kill. This is just like, oh, okay, well, he just exists somewhere, you can't do anything about it, and because he just exists somewhere, you don't know where he is, it doesn't matter, like, whatever. You couldn't even get to him if you wanted to, because there's, you know, 3 enemy packs between you and 4 walls, but, you know, he just exists, so everything is buffed. Have fun. No counterplay, no interaction. But, you know, it's sort of like, there's perfect counterplay and interaction in normal, and even to some extent in Nightmare. It only becomes bullshit in Hell. And it's funny because it's like, look, I don't want this game to be easier. Like, buff the damage that Might gives them. I just want there to be, like, meaningful interactions. So it's like, oh, wow, a Might boss pack. Not, oh, okay, someone somewhere on the fucking tile set has Might, so half the enemies on the tile set just have Might. Not that it's particularly threatening or anything. I mean, we just kind of walk through it. But my god, what do you even do in that situation if you're like a concentration barbarian? Like, what do you just re-roll? And then it's like you re-roll and now you get to here and there's a Might Aura somewhere there. And like 40 Doom Knights and Venom Lords between you, and then you just re-roll again after already re-rolling once and clearing half the chaos. Like, I wouldn't play the game if I had to play the game like that. Thankfully, I don't. But at the same time, it kind of, I don't know, it like, because I like this game, I want to play it. And I want to play it in like lots of different ways. But I feel like the bullshit in this game in hell just horribly limits the number of like what I would consider viable builds. And look, I know people finish this game with 0 equipment, you know, a bunch of garbage, like rares, magic only, whatever, with like, you know, extremely poor stuff. But like, that may be entertaining to watch. And there are probably some people who find that sort of like challenge gaming entertaining to play. Not me. Like, I would not mind doing like some kind of challenge plays in this game. But not where it's like, oh, okay, well, that just means I'm going to have to spend, you know, 3 days, you know, just to finish the run from hell. I'm probably going to have to spend, like, multiple days just farming the Countess, maybe time in Lower Kuras, maybe, you know, multiple days farming Mephisto, probably multiple days farming Andario, like, Nightmare and Hell, you know, just like an absolutely miserable farming sesh to just get things that I already have anyway, just because, like, oh, it's solo self-found. And, you know, people don't stream challenges like that. For, like, they don't stream the grindy parts of challenges like that for a reason, because nobody wants to watch it. Like, people want to see the peaks and the valleys. Without understanding that, you know, the peaks and the valleys are enabled by just like hours and hours and hours and hours of just mind-numbingly doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because if you're challenge running, your ability, like, you have to cleave even tighter to like an optimized way of playing, where, you know, like, you only level in the safe power leveling spot. Like, you only grind loot in, you know, on like Andy, Mephisto, whatever. You ignore all the enemies you can and skip as many areas as you can and spend as much time as you can, you know, in the lucrative grind spots, just doing the same gameplay loop over and over and over and over again. Like, you know, you might spend 20 minutes on Act 5, but then you spend 3 hours grinding Eldritch and Pindle. And, like, look, I love the results of those, you know, of that sort of content, those cool videos, but, like, oh my god, I don't want to make them. But, like, you know, I do like the idea of doing some challenge runs that aren't just purely based around a really mind-numbing grind that's not going to work on a stream. And even with the curse, it couldn't fully strip the physical immunity, and it just took ages to chip that guy down. But it is what it is. Whee. Whee. Bro, no rushing! Alright. They just, like, absolutely chunked the mercenary and the Valk. But I could pretty happily just kill them myself with the slow. Go away. Go stand in the corner. Alright. Love that. But yeah, I mean, like, to the extent that I want to, like, do any kind of, like, streams that aren't just based around, like, loot diarying, you know, it's mostly going to be things like, oh, look, I found this Pearl Rune and I'm going to upgrade this, you know, this unique and, like, take it through hell and see how comfy it is, or I want to try this setup, or I want to try that. Like, I'm thinking about doing the Sasabi's Paladin. Hold on. I have a good amount of arrows. Yes, alright. So I'm thinking about doing a Sasabi's, like, slow Paladin. Similar to this. But then I also wanted to do a Zeal Paladin who's just, like, using the Lacerator, because I genuinely think that's, like, one of the best one-handed weapons in this game, even though it's a throwing weapon, like, just using it in melee. Because of the 33% amp damage proc chance. Yeah. Go away! I don't even remember what this guy's name is. The only one I remember is the Lord Decease. I think he feels way scarier when you kind of don't understand the game as much, and then it's like these guys feel way scarier when you actually start to really understand the game. Oh yeah, I forgot to check those rares that Decease dropped. The Balrog Blade and the Bone Weave. I'll just quickly go up there and do that. But yeah, like, if you just, like, rah, and just run into, and you just, like, charge headfirst into, like, Decease and his boys, you will just be absolutely stomped. Wait, what? That's not even a bad sword, like, for a mercenary. Like, 200 to 451 damage is a freaking nice damage roll. Like, this ethereal hustle does, like, significantly less. It is a faster pace, but yeah, that's cool. Alright, and
I can't
the
carry
Bona
anymore.
Weave. Haha, Bona. This is not bad. I mean, if it were fire resist, it would be okay, but poison resist is... Alright. Let's get that slow. Wait, how is the slow not on you? There you go. Oh no, I cannot even get grazed by that. I just insta-melt. It's crazy. Diablo. What is my chance to hit him anyway? It can't be that bad. 73%? Because the chance to hit on strafe is like really low. You're better off just spamming guided arrow. However, 73 is pretty damn good. Oof. That just melts your poor old mercenary. Oh, that's gonna melt me. Oh no, no, not. Come on, come on. Not twice in a row, you jerk. Go target the Valk. Why am I just strafing before I even look and see what he's doing? He's practically dead. Wrong. Man, that was freaking spicy. I got one partial Juby left, but it's more than enough.
I can't carry anymore.
My god, what a drop. What is this? I mean, it's true res. Copium. We got the breastplate is blessed. The breastplate is best plate. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do this again. I was doing Mephisto when the stream started,
What do you need?
so there's probably a little bit of time left in the Terror Zone, but probably not enough time for me to get all the way over to him. But I might as well just start clearing the River of Flame if I can get in there and just get a little bit more EXP. You know, if the river isn't too bad. Like, these guys are not that bad because even though they're like super dangerous, they're not that dangerous once they're slowed, and they're a little bit spongy. Like, they're not that, you know, they're not exactly made of bricks. Whee. Look, there's another guy with an aura, and the radius on the holy aim aura is like always crazy big as well. Which is like, yeah, it's the weakest of the auras, I think, but it's still very dangerous. Whee. No, 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 no. You are not going anywhere, my son. Yeah, I was just gonna go back for you, but you did the sensible thing. Oh, cool. A fanaticism aura. I wonder where the minion pack is that's giving them this. Are they inside the Chaos Sanctuary? Are they even on the River of Flame? Thankfully, slow pretty much breaks these guys, so even with the fanaticism aura, they're just not that scary. Healing? Mana? Healing. Blah. Why did I come up here? There's no reason to come up here. Wow, that curse actually freaking wore off within like a measurable amount of time. Damn, that was a lot of curse. I was just about to say, like, where are my curse procs? It's like, wee. Oh, how is there so much stuff here still? Come on, just die. Get out of my way. You're just a wall of meat at this point. And I feel gross just hacking at you. Let's actually get the mercenary in there. This guy's gonna take so freaking long to kill. At least now he's taking every strafe. Alright, now he's actually taking damage. Not a lot, but enough. Pew pew pew, 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 pew pew pew. Alright, back into Diablo zone. Oh, combat shrine. Yeah, oh yeah. More damage, more attack rating. That's a lot of awful stuff. No, go away. I've got to be a little bit less lazy about that. Like if I just reliably need to have something knocked back, just throw a couple of guided arrows at them. Because a lot of the time I get tagged, it's just because like I'm kind of just doing it on autopilot and think, go on, Strafe's gonna boop him back, Strafe's gonna boop him back, and then it just doesn't. No, the corruption begins to fade. Get that red shit away from me. Whee. 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 It sounds like a tennis ball. Like if you bonk a tennis ball into like concrete and you hear it bounce. I swear. Because it has this little like almost squeak of like the fur hitting the concrete. Very good of them to line up like that. Whew. I actually got Inferno'd a bit there. Alright, let's resummon the Valve, nice and safe. Give a potion to the boy. Okay, I was gonna say give another potion to the boy, but apparently the boy just got freaking incinerated. That's fine, the Valk's doing okay. The thing is, they can just like insta-melt against those guys. Like, you literally like, oh, they got like half his health, but then just like, boom, gone. But this is fine. Get out of here. On your bike. Is there a lightning enchantment in there somewhere? Yeah. Be gone. Mana? Healing, healing, mana. Only mana. Like the one time I'm like, you know what, a healing potion would be nice. I'm not that fussed about mana. This is like vast pile of mana potions towering into the fucking sky, blocking out the sun. I could have just grabbed the juvie. The juvie. Keep that red shit away from me. We've been through this. I love how slow they are. Slow, slow, slow. Like, Ventar is still dangerous because he's extra fast, so like you're just kind of slowing them back down to like normal speed. But it shows you how crazy dangerous Ventar is if you don't have the slow. Oh my god, they're freaking... Oh, okay, I was gonna say they're freaking rushing me again, but... No? It's like, take my advice, if you ever do that seal on hardcore, like, shop for a ring of telekinesis. And, you know, like, open it from there. Or have a teleport stuff on Switch. So you can just, like, hit it and then, you know, insta-teleport away if the grubbers spawn right at it. I just want to get this stuff off. There's no point rushing. But, you know, I'm here now. I've cleared the place. We might as well get our Diablo drop. Which, yeah, Diablo drops not the spiciest drops. Keep that red shit away from me. Keep it away. This is still a high level area, even without the Terror Zone. Like, Diablo can drop pretty much everything in the game. I think this... Like, Baal is obviously higher. But, this guy. What a dickhead. Look at this guy. Nobody likes this guy. Literally no friends. Apart from maybe, I don't know, the cockroaches that live on his windowsill. No, that actually makes him sound kind of cool. He's can't even cockroaches don't want to be friends with him. He's a dickhead. He just like kills insects for no reason, just because he can. And nothing likes him. No one likes him. Where's his minion pack? Literally friendless. That's Huamins. But if I play again tonight after this, because I'm going to take a break after this, it'll probably just be to level a paladin, like get him into hell. Because, look, no one wants to see me just play through normal and nightmare, especially with like shared stash, mule gear. Look, not that it even matters. Like, unless you're playing the worst build in the game, shared stash means nothing in normal and nightmare. Like, you can literally take your starter weapon and just punch your way to rack an issue. You know, level up a bit. You know, farm a few rack and issue drops, and then just like take your money back, buy another weapon, go to the Countess Tower, and just farm the runes for whatever you need, right? Like your basic stuff. Your steel if you're a melee character. Your... I was gonna get the curse off, but...
Not even death can save you from me.
Yeah, watch the fire will... See? It comes towards you. So that's something really, like... Because if you build slow and then you die because of that in freaking hardcore... Like... Yeah. You will be molding. So just remember that. If it's a spell that they will typically track you with and aim at you, it's going to be aimed at you, even if it looks like they're aiming somewhere else. And, you know, remember, look at our resistances. If you build like this, you cannot afford to take even a tiniest glancing blow from that lightning, which... You know, we survived one in the first confrontation. Barely. It's like you eat a juvie or you die. Eat a juvie and instantly get out of it or you die. Oh, okay. What the heck is that? Is that Dark Force spawn or something? Oh, it's Andariel's face. Oh, okay, alright. Andariel's visage. I mean, it's ethereal. It's cool for a mercenary. I'm not really sure which mercenary even uses this, but it's cool for a mercenary. It's okay, it's fine. I'm kind of tempted to try a cold or fire rogue and just put like whatever the fastest like give them like a 5 shale bow with like +3 bow and crossbow. But then you ideally want something they can get some pierce with.
Hail to you, champion.
I don't know. I don't really know. Like the only way I can think to gear a the only way I can really think to gear a rogue would be like Kuko Shikako, I suppose. But I don't think that's quite fast enough. But I feel like, I don't know, Andy's face, or like, maybe like Kira's Guardian Hustle, and then like Weisendraw with a Shale Rune on a cold. But then, like, Weisendraw is really good for the like one hit because it lowers everything's cold resistance, but it doesn't have Pierce. So where do you get the Pierce? Eh, we might as well go do the Black Marsh just once. I got the waypoint. I know the way. Wait, does this not terrorize the tower? Or only the hold? Let's go to the hold. The filthy hold. Look at that. Color raining in the Terror Zone. It's the worst item in the game, maybe. The worst thing okay, worst thing, but like when I used to play this game, like, you know, as a kind of like baby, taking my baby steps, not really like looking anything up or researching anything, and just kind of looking at stuff at face value and thinking, oh no, that should be good, this should be good, like I should put spec into energy as a caster, and you know, something I like stupidly overvalued was like anything that said energy regen. Like, I genuinely had no idea how legitimately bad that was. And for a long time, I used the Lenimo sash. This was pre-LOD, so it's not like we had amazing belts around. But, you know, Night Smoke existed, 10 resist all, and damage taken goes to mana, which is like, you shouldn't really be taking damage at all as a caster, but if you do... Man, these are chunky boys. It's the curse that really messes with my peeps. That's all you drop? You're a jerk. I don't even know what his name is, like Chonkhead Woodfeet or something? No, it's like Bushhead Woodfeet. I didn't even know there was a champ there. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, everything's kind of harmless. Alright, what is here? The Dark Ood. Up, 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 up. Oh yeah, why don't I, you know, you interact with this, which is actually one of the only ways to, like, it's the only counterplay to curses, but it's RNG, so it's not actually relevant. Apart from in Travancore, there's always a well in Travancore, so, you know. One of the best ways to fight the council, if you're, like, really struggling and you just don't have, like, the best gear and stuff like that, is, like, go slowly clear the whole map and find the well. Clear yourself, like, a good fighting spot around the well with, like, you know, a clear path to the temple. And then, you know, try to pick the council apart and kite them back to the well. And, like, never use a, like, if you want to use a well like that, like, always only, like, eat from it, like, only, like, take a sip, you know? Like, if you fully empty the well, it takes way longer to recharge, basically. Like, if it's already at one charge, it'll recharge a second pretty quick, but if it's at 0, it takes a long time to recharge the first. But you can go to that well, like, you know, a few times in that boss fight and get, you know, it's like they can still literally just put the curse straight back on you, but, like, odds are you get some, like, curse-free time, and it's better to have some curse-free time, as well as the full heals. Well, not full heals, but partial heals, which also affect your merc. Anyway, it's just good. If you're worried about the council, fight them at the well. If you're really worried about the council, just lure one named council member into, like, a darkened alley and, you know, just completely Shanghai him with, like, all the hired muscle you can bring. And then just, like, kite the others out. Like just kite them, like, a nice long ways away, and then, like, portal back to town, and then just go back to that waypoint, run back to, like, the empty temple. So is this Terra Zone? No, it's just the Black Marsh and the Hill. That's a shame, because that's a really good place to farm on a Terra Zone, because it's such a consistent number of elites. Wee wee. I would like to find the hole. Where is the hole? Oh yes, the hole is in the well. The filthy hole. Bruh. I just want to go in the hole. Let me in the hole, please. Hey, though. It's a great place. All the cool people come in. Nobody comes here. Ever. I think I've watched so many hours of people streaming this game, I don't think I've ever seen anyone go in the hill. But, you know, Terra Zones make it a slightly different reality, don't they? Why is the hole empty? Why is there nothing in here? It should be called the empty hole. Oh, that's not empty. It's a good thing I farm so many full juvies as this lady, because when you need them, oh my god, you need them. You usually don't need them, which is why I like the build. But most of the time, they just kind of sit in your inventory, and you end up chucking a bunch in your stash when you farm more, or you just leave them on the ground. But oh my god, when you need them, you need them. I got hit by like 2 lightning bolts and got dropped so freaking low
Good
then.
to see you.
And there's like, I had no idea how many more lightning bolts were coming. I didn't know there were only 2 of those jerks. That's why I instantly like sprayed the area with multi-shot, thinking like, all right, well if there's more, I slow them. And then
Not
I
in
run back
town.
so I have more space to avoid their freaking lightning puke if I need to. But yeah, like you can just get like sniped and one-shotted as this character. But look, if you're seriously playing this in hardcore, like you're not going to be, you know, running like you can still pack a decent amount of resistances onto this character. Like you can wear a smoke, you can wear you know, a good helm with some like targeted resistances, like a rock stopper. You know, even just the Blackthorn's face with the lightning resist, with the rune for lightning resist, and then the lightning absorb on top of it. Like, that allowed me to be pretty damn casual about lightning as I was playing through the game. Obviously, souls can still freaking melt you, as anyone who saw me in the... Oh my gosh, this guy has conviction. Farewell, mercenary. Good night, sweet prince. Or maybe not. Man, you throw a couple of juvies at your mercenary and they can survive some crazy shit. It's so nice to like rarely need them for yourself, so you don't kind of feel like, ooh, you know, I don't know about throwing them at the merc like that.
Greetings.
Like, cause that's a brown trouser situation. You know, those guys who puke lightning can just literally evaporate the merc, evaporate the Valk, evaporate you when they have a conviction aura. And there were archers around that do spectral hits, and it's just... absolute mad nonsense. Ooh, an Amaranth. Like, Amaranths, you never have enough Amaranths. That's not true. I cube up Amaranths, but I always keep 2 or 3 because rolling sockets and things like that. I think I went the wrong way here. The hail is not particularly impressive to me. Like, it's not very dense. I haven't seen that many boss packs. You know, EXP certainly hasn't been like skyrocketing, and drops have not been that wunderbar. You just go away. Go to sleep. Oh, you all... No. No. Not the holy shock aura. Get that out of my face. We'll just quickly go down this little crack. Nothing down here. But like this,
I
I
am
think this is the
overburdened.
fastest base bow in the game. And if you found one of these with like 5 sockets and just put like 5 shale runes in it and just give it to like your rogue mercenary, I feel like that's one of the better bows you can give it. Although there's probably an Amazon equivalent bow that's super fast as well, and then get down to them with +3 bow and crossbow. But man, the pierce. You want pierce. But it's like not that many bows have pierce. Like what does? The Kugoshikaku, there's a couple of bows from like normal that I don't know, maybe even then. Oh, he's so fat. No. I love just watching them move in slow-mo. There's a second level of the hole. The filthy hole. Is this just like a copy-paste of the pits, maybe? Nah, it's not. The second level of the hole is different outlook. Layout, even. I know what words mean. I am a scholar. Wait, what? Again, this is not the hole, this is the empty hole. No. Nah, I'm good. You know, you don't have to shoot lightning bolt. Val, what? Get in there, woman.
I am overburdened.
I mean, should I ID the boots? Like, they take a bajillion strength to even put on, and they probably smell bad. They've been in the filthy hole. I warned you.
I am overburdened.
I knew nothing good would come of it. Oh, I got that just at the exact clutch moment. At the perfect time. Amazing. Behold. Alright, I know what I want to do. Legit, I want to try
Hello.
a barbarian with like no mastery and try like whirlwinding with Ribcracker. Because Ribcracker is an absolute like monster of a freaking weapon. Like, if you upgrade that thing to elite, setting room words aside, I legitimately think it's the best two-hander in the game. Like, what competition does it have? It has the most disgusting mods, like 50 IAS on an already fast base, absurd amounts of add damage, you know, a huge ED roll, like fucking 50% crushing blow. Like, I've used that and then used, like, Windhammer on a druid, and the Ribcracker is just better. But I want to do someone who's like, you know, some like Sun Wukong type, you know, beating the crap out of everything with their magic stick. And I feel like a whirlwinding barbarian kind of suits that image a little bit better than, I mean, druid. Not even druid's just going to be in dog form. Wouldn't matter what weapon he had. But I don't know, maybe a zeal paladin. But I feel like, oh man, they would be squishy as hell. But it would just be weirdly interesting as a barbarian, like having those 23 skill points and like what do you expect them into? Because whirlwind doesn't have any synergies either, so it's like, I don't know, whirlwind, battle orders. And then what? I don't know, just like battle cry maybe? That's the one that like debuff stuff. Or even just get like a nice high level howl for the CC so you can like scare everything away and then just like whirlwind, you know, as much as you please. Just kind of play it like a pit circa, but kind of worse. But also kind of better because like, you know, like spinny ninja with your cool staff. Into the hole. Our goal is to reach the filthy hole. It is located in the world. Why is it empty? Why is there nothing here? Why? Whose angry gods did I offend in a past life? Oh, but these guys. Okay, where'd they come from, huh? I just ran through that hallway. Pew 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 pew. Bonk. Ooh, ethereal, please. Ethereal with the correct number of sockets, please.
Impossible.
It is ethereal. That's kind of a little bit spicy. I don't know what kind of accent that was supposed to be, but I want credit for effort, okay? I was trying, actually.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright. Can you guys just chill for a second? No? Alright. Oh. Alright, yeah, okay. Well,
I am overburdened.
I don't know who's gonna get the incredibly busted obedience, but someone. Okay, what about this one? I don't actually like this base, but 4 sockets is good. Probably best to put that ethereal cryptic axe. I think obedience is probably the best thing to make in it. I could be like wildly wrong. Maybe there's some amazing rune word that I can make, but like it's a merc weapon, right? It doesn't need to be that good. Like I do not want to use like a bunch of high rune, like a high rune or something on a weapon for a mercenary, unless it has some like amazing utility for me. Because like it's not going to go on her mercenary because he's carrying a hustle. But my sorceress could definitely upgrade her merc to an ethereal cryptic poleaxe because she's already got an obedience in a cryptic poleaxe. Her merc has to like deal with way more than this guy. Like this guy has to fight stuff that's slowed up to 75%, usually 50% now that I'm just mainly farming. Whereas, and you know, he's got the Valk there with him, pulling a lot of aggro and just, ooh. What a kindly fallen. Games is like not letting me hold alt for some reason. Like I said, I think my keyboard's not It's a good keyboard, but it's really old, and it's a mechanical, and they do tend to just go to bits after a while. I should just get a new one. Skillet, please. Oh, you know what? I can't even be angry about that. I hate this game sometimes, though, because it's just like, here's a charm you won't want to drop. But you're going to have to drop another charm you don't want to drop to slot it. Have fun. But 10 seems like a good amount of MF for a biggie. I don't know why I'm just killing like a single enemy instead of just re-rolling and going again, but tis what it is. This is going to be my last. Actually, nah. We'll just wrap this up here. But, you know, I mean, we kind of found like some really goated merc stuff just in these two. I'm really curious how much freaking damage an ethereal cryptic axe does as an obedience, because you know my sorceress has a normal cryptic axe obedience, and the freaking thing does insane amounts of damage. Like, not the sorceress, but the merc. But yeah, so what are we actually going to drop here? Probably that. Because like 20 to life is not, you know, nothing. It's like a pretty decent secondary stat, so it's not just an MF charm. Anyway. Take care, anyone who watched.